Hello everyone, and in today's video we're going to be looking at how to quickly read through a research paper to extract most important information, and be doing this using a tool called Scholarcy that will help guide us with the key information, and we'll look at how we can input that information in our literature database. So the first thing that we need to know before we begin is that when we want to quickly and efficiently read a paper, we need to look at 5 main areas. And these are the title, the abstract, the research questions, the conclusions, and the discussions. So if you don't have the Scholarcy browser extension, just search for Scholarcy browser extension in Google. And then once you click on that, it will take you to the download page, and you can find download it here. I've already added it, so if you see this one, it's not showing up on my screen, but once you've downloaded it, you can then go to the puzzle piece, and then you'll find that it's been installed as an extension in your browser. Okay, so once we've done that, we can then go back to our research article, and we will open the puzzle piece, open the Scholarcy browser extension, and then you'll see it will start loading with the key areas that we need to look at. So we said there are 5 main areas that we need to be looking at in order to efficiently and quickly analyze a paper. First thing that we said is to really look at the title. And here we can see the title says the effect of educational games on learning outcomes, student motivation, engagement, and satisfaction. So I need to consider here, does the title have the key words that are important? If it ticks the boxes and it has the keywords that you're looking for, then you should carry on. If not, you really should be skipping this article and not wasting more time with it. In my case, I'm looking at digital games, and I'm looking for things like student motivation, engagement, and satisfaction. So this is an excellent title for me, even though it's focusing on educational games, not digital games, but it still falls under that broader aspect for the educational games. So I will be carrying on reading this article. Now, the next thing that is extremely important and that we said we need to look at is the abstract. And one of the purposes of the abstract is that it's a brief summary of a scientific paper or the journal article, and it provides you with an overview of 4 important things. And it tells you what the research questions are. It tells you it gives the results and the conclusion, all extremely concisely. So I really feel that the abstract can decide for you whether you carry on reading that paper or not. And if not, you just move on. And we move on to looking at how Scholarcy can help us with that in terms of reading the abstract. The good thing about Scholarcy and the abstract is that it doesn't summarize the abstract, it just gives it to you exactly as it is. So for example, here, while educational games have been increasingly popular in education, insufficient studies have comprehensively reviewed their effectiveness. And then we can see that's the exact same wording in the article while educational games moves on. But what it has done is that it's highlighted for us information, and you'll see that the color codes have specific meanings. So the orange highlights usually show the contributions that the authors have made, whereas the purple shows any important points that you might find in the article. So if we're looking at this abstract background information, and here it said, while educational games have been increasingly popular in education, insufficient studies have comprehensively reviewed their effectiveness. So it's telling us that, there's a missing gap here, that, there's not enough studies really that have tackled the effectiveness. And then they go on to say that they're going to be filling this gap by showing us that they've explored the game-based learning, and they've specifically looked at academic achievement, problem solving, and so on. Now, they lost their methods. This hasn't been highlighted by Scholarcy, but we can clearly see it here. It's based on a comprehensive literature analysis. So I know that the method in the study is going to be a review. It's the synthesis of the literature. It's not going to include an empirical study. Again, is that, something that's interesting to me that I'm to look at a review, or am I mostly interested in empirical studies? In that case, I won't carry on reading this. So again, you need to be thinking about what your purpose for reading this article is. Is it to collect the information, to have a synthesis of the literature, or are you looking to mainly replicate studies so you're really interested in methods? And in that case, you ignore this article and look for something else. And then they tell us their conclusions of what they've found, which is basically that the future research should highlight. This is their suggestions that they're making, analytics and data mining, techniques of educational games and find out solutions to address various problems just to improve the effectiveness. So we really see that from the abstract, you're already making decisions to understanding what this paper is about and determining what information you would like to further know about, or whether we don't really need to go into depth into this article. The third thing that we need to be looking at when you're reading our research paper is the research question banks in the paper, and you'll usually find that at the end of the introduction. So if you got the introduction will have the background information, it will have the theoretical literature background that paper has used. If you're focusing on the theoretical background, you can usually spend some time on that. But if you're not, that's not the main area that you're looking at, and the best thing to do is scroll towards the end of the introduction, and you'll see here that they will have the research questions, usually at the end of the introduction. And in this case, they have 4 research questions. Could learning outcomes be greatly improved in educational game-based learning? Could student motivation be greatly improved in educational game-based learning? And so on. So they got 4 research questions, and like we said, you'll usually find them at the end of the introduction. And why do we need to know this? The research questions will give you the directions and the purpose of the paper. Once you know the research questions, then again, you're forming a decision as to whether this paper is relevant to the information that you're looking for and you're trying to extract. And remember, the whole idea here is that we're trying to quickly form a decision about whether to spend a lot of time on this paper or whether to just extract general overview information. And we need to be able to have that skill, because too much time on every single paper is a complete time waste there. So that was number 3. And now for number 4, we need to we'll completely skip over the research methods, completely skip over the results, because not really relevant for us right now. And for the last part, you need to be focusing on the discussions and the conclusions. Okay, and then for the 4th section, we've said that we need to be looking at the discussions. And so again, we'll open up Scholarcy to help us with this, and then we'll scroll down. And it's good to go to the Scholarcy summary for this. And you'll see that it's broken up the various sections in very concise sections. So for example, if we look at the conclusion, they straight away tell us that there's difficulty in determining the effectiveness of educational games. And even though there's a dramatic development, we know that there's essentially difficulty in using these fields, and then they haven't been generally accepted, and that we should not arrive at a hasty conclusion, because that although they could be effective, but they don't really have results that tell us that they definitely improve learning outcomes, student motivation, engagement, and satisfaction. So really concise conclusion. Obviously, you need to go back and generate some more information on this. But if you just wanted a very quick summary in terms of what you wanted to point out, this is a good idea. You could also go to the Scholarcy highlights, and it will give you in bullet points some key highlights of the paper. For example, games have been increasingly accessible to educators. They've been used in various kind of approaches. I also have set various outcomes, and then what future research suggests, or what basically their conclusions were. Because remember, this is a review paper, so these are actually their findings and their discussions. The different sections that you can find as well are the key concepts, and we can see how we're going to be using them to fill in our literature review database. So we've got educational games, student engagement, academic achievement, language learning. Notice also they sometimes bring some random things like science's citation index, so be careful. You remember, these AI tools don't always pick up the most accurate information, so you also have to be careful when you're reading this to make sure that you're using the right information. Another important aspect that I read about Scholarcy that could be really useful when you're looking at your paper is to look at the limitations. I always look at this where I'm quickly scanning the paper, because it just helps me to see, is there a gap I can fill with my paper? And here it gives us 2 main limitations in the study. On the one hand, the databases from which they retrieved their literature were limited. And on the other hand, the study adopted the content analysis without statistical support. So we know that from the beginning it's a review study, but they're highlighting that, okay, maybe we need to move on to empirical studies to advance for our results. The other really good thing that you can extract from a Scholarcy is the comparative analysis. And what it does is it extracts from the paper uh, any information that actually support uh, or differ from previous work. So if we look here at this section, it tells us about the research methods in prior work. And then it tells us how it differs from previous work as well, which is interesting. And this is something that you can use to compile in your paper. So now having looked at and quickly read through this paper, understood its content, briefly formed our understanding of whether we wanted to use this paper. Assume this is all we want from this paper. We don't want to go into any more depth in what we can do next is use the information from Scholarcy to fill in our literature review, which I'll show you how to do within the next section. So this is the Notion database that we're using. I've shown you how to create this database in a previous video. If you'd like to see that, I'll leave you the link at the end of this video so you can look at how you can set up the columns and the different sections. For our purposes, we're going to scroll down and we're going to start putting the information that we have extracted from this last paper. So the first thing I need to do is add the title, which is the effect of educational games on learning outcomes, student motivation, engagement, and satisfaction. So I'm just going to copy that title from my article and then go back and enter it here. So the next thing I need to add is the author. So it would be Yu, Gao, and Wang. And the date is 2020. So then I enter that. We'll go into this section. And then I put Yu, Gao, and Wang 2020. I can do the journal later. And then the next thing, which is the topic, Scholarcy can help us with that. So if I go back to my article and I open up my Scholarcy exemption, you'll see at the top here where it gives us the key concepts. I can see there's educational games, student engagement, student achievement, and then I can begin to add all these in my database. So here I can add educational games. I'm worried about that, so I'll select it. I can also add motivations. Okay, and so on, and you keep on adding as many topics as you want. For the key insights, I can go to my Scholarcy highlights, and I can take some of the important findings that the study has indicated. So I can take this section, for example, go back to our table, and then input the information in our key insights. Again, just make sure you review the information. Scholarcy is not always accurate, so it'd be always good to see and so on. And you can compute that for the theoretical framework, the key findings and results, and limitations, put the link to the study and so on. So what Scholarcy does is really just simplify the process of you extracting the information. It helps guide you along as you look for the key elements of a paper. And as we saw, there are really interesting parts like comparative analysis, for example, where you can extract each to your database, but that when you come back to it, you find everything there, and it's a straightforward process. So I hope you've enjoyed this video and you found it useful. And see you in the next video.